yep, good fish too. Yes, that's it. Yep, there we go. Got it. Oh, it's a nice fish too. All from just watching that line. Welcome back to my lure box, folks. In today's video, we're in the canals on the Gold Coast and we're chasing fish with little lures. I'm going to show you some tricks to increase your catch rates and to make it happen on some of the tougher days. I've been out here having a go at this and it was very slow this morning until I made a few changes. You wait and see what happens once we do. It's a whole lot of fun. Let's get into it. Okay folks, well I think I'm dealing with a little bit of a weight issue here. This is moving way too fast and I've been fishing with cranks and little vibes and things, but I think what I need to do is really slow things down. I've been fishing with this little 1/6 of an ounce, a tiny little light, like it's a 1.0 light I think it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to try and get rid of this front weight and just see how it fishes without this front weight on. So carefully using my cutters, just going to try and remove a few bits of this and see if I can open this up, this lead weight. I don't want to go bending the hook. This is all that I've got on the water at the moment. So what I'm hoping is just shear a little bit of this away and get to the hook and pull him out without really weakening the hook. And I know it's ruining a jig head, but I've got a pack of about 5 or 6 of them. So keep all that lead there. There we go. Right, you might be able to see that. I've just turned it up. I've just cut that out there, that little bit of lead off the head, and it's a little bit of an experiment because I can run it there like that with that tiny little bit of lead in there that goes as the head locking system. There you go, that's what I'm looking at now. Hopefully this is going to work. Oh yep, good fish too. Yes, that's it. Alright, well, it's taken a while and that's a really good sign because that was in the water. He had plenty of time to look at that and make his decision and he grabbed it really, really convincingly. So, might be onto something here. It's the middle of the day fishing, so the bite should be slowed right down at this point. And I'm pretty sure by the look of that, he might have it. Oh, he's come at it and he's got it in his fin. That's why he was putting up a really good account of himself. But, well, it's a testament to those TT hooks. Just gonna sort this fish out and I'll show you what I'm doing. taken an effort to modify this today. Alright, I'll give you a look at that lure. The markings and the colours on these fish. Really dark colouring through the tail, and then that yellow fin. Take a look at this. I want to keep fishing, but have a look at what I've done. I've butchered this thing this morning to try and get a bite because they were so tentative, and that's all it is. I've chopped the little bait down, made it smaller, fishing with one of these prawn wrigglers, and I've taken the weight off the jig head to run it. It's almost nude. It's just got the headlock's keeper weight that runs down the shank of the hook sitting in there, and that's it. Now I might do a little bit more with the tail to free the tail up so it moves on the drop, but that was about 3 casts in and it pulled the bite. So let's keep going and see if we can get this done. Yep. Right off the edge of this retaining wall. And there's a few of them there, and they are all parking up in these little shadow lines that are just right along the edge. Any little thing, there's like a pipe there with a fence that's protruding out to the edge, and that's enough to do it. They're on everything in here. And this little, barely weighted little plastic, little Squidgy Prawn Wriggler. Have a look at that. There it is, barely weighted. The weight's on the inside. They are loving it. Go on, mate. There's very little action happening from my end. It's just casting it in and watching the line. I've got like a blue highlighted line so I can see it really easily, and then I'm just letting the fall do the work. They just love that slow fall. Let's see if we can turn a few more on. Yep, there we go. Got it. Oh, it's a nice fish too. All from just watching that line. And it's basically unweighted. This is just such brilliant fishing. There's a tough bite. I went through 3 different lure changes, including this same lure. I was running this same little squidgy and not getting any interest with the heavier jig head. And this has made all the difference. And that's a pretty good brim. Definitely legal. He'd be about 28, I reckon, 27, 28 centimetres long. And he's got a great set of chompers on him. I'll see if I can show him to you. Have a look at this. Oh, it's so spiky, mate. Have a look at those chompers there for a brim. He's getting it happening. How good, eh? Now, this is where it's at. This has made all the difference. And it's just the really lightweight. This is the TT. It was a 1/6 of an ounce, but the jig head's gone. I've just got the headlock's keeper that's sitting in there, and that's all the weight that I'm using. And there's my little squidgy, and this thing is just getting caned. I'm not even fishing it really. I'm just sort of throwing it in there, letting it sit there. There it is, the prawn wriggler, and that's the bloodworm colour. And as it's going down, that little tail's just moving really slowly on the way down, and it's giving the brim enough time to come in and inspect it, and they just love it. The closer you get to these little prawn wrigglers, the better they look. Beautiful, beautiful profile with that little curl tail just to turn the brim on. The middle of the day fishing, I just love it. And it's so much fun to be able to watch it, like really light line, high vis line, the braid. And then I've got about a metre and a half of 6-pound leader. Heaps of fun. Oh, they're there again. And they're fighting over it. Look at them. There's another one. just come out of these shadows from this bamboo that's overhanging. It's beautiful clear water. You know, there's pockets of these canals that you can get into even pretty quickly after the floods and all the rain, and they don't get as dirty. If you use Google Maps to look at it, to find your little pockets that might be a little bit cleaner, you can find the fish just stacked here in the weeks after the flooding. Get out of here, Spike. Boom. Here's only a small one, but they're fun all the same. There's more in there now. See if they want it. Come on. I'm gonna take it, boys. No, they know what's up. That's all it is, and I'm just repeating it. You can see the foam moving along the edge here, so there's been a lot of sort of wave action along this edge, and it tends to stir up any of the life that's sitting in there, the crabs or the crustaceans, anything that's in there tends to stir stuff up, and the brim will come in and sit on it. So this wind has actually been a good thing for me today, even though it makes it a little bit more difficult to position a kayak at times. I really think this wave action during the middle of the day, where it's not just dead calm, hides my approach and gives a little bit of water movement through this canal system. And that's enough to get the feeding going with these fish. Alright, here goes, here's another little palm. I'm just going to massage this squidgy back onto the hook point so it sits flat and natural. It's getting pulled down, the brim are really hammering this. It's holding up to it. These new squidgy soft plastics, they're so much more durable. This means you've got to get massaging them now and then. Get them in place, keep them there. But this packet will last me a few sessions, which is just great. I'm sitting with it. I think he had the back end of it in his mouth then. Just felt a little bit of weight when I lifted. Yep, again. Oh, brilliant. Little floody. Little floody under the palm. How good's that? Now, I'm a bit out of practice with my floody. It's been so long, guys. You can see any right the way around the bottom of the country. Oh, get out of there, mate. I have to net you now, buddy. The little ones are more psycho than the big ones. Now, after all my years of handling them, I've learnt a little bit of pressure upside down on the anal vent works a treat. There he is, beautiful little floody, kicking around the canals. They're often at the mouths of these canals too. It's a great spot to chase them. But they're loving this little presentation, and it's a combination between the realistic finish on this little plastic and the weighting and how it's moving through the water, the speed that it's moving at through the water as it falls. It's such a tell to be able to get onto good fish. Yep, I'm on again. Look at that. It's just one after the other. I love it. And he's got some colour about him. Just caning him. Oh, look at that. He's just all over it. Beautiful stuff. If you listen to anyone talk about lure fishing and retrieves, they always talk about varying it up and trying different things, and being able to present a lure in a way that the fish haven't really seen it. Most of the fish in here are seeing lures presented with jig heads that are weighting the plastic down. It's So something that sits in their face that ends up being much more realistic of a presentation, gives them time to come over and then compete. There's a lot of fish in these canals on the Gold Coast, and if they get a good look at it with this water clarity and it sits there and it looks real enough, giving them the time just to come in and then make a decision, it just makes a lot of sense. Boy, it's been a lot of fun at this point. So cool. A lot of it you can see it happening and you can predict it as you're coming up to a section, you know. It's so much fun when you're predicting the bite and then watching it play out. Yep. Oh, that's so cool. Just sitting under, I don't know whether the GoPro's picking this up well enough, but there are shadow lines everywhere along these edges. And that one, these little brim were just sitting along the support bar for the pontoon. There you go, look at that. He's completely just sucked that right down. Perfect. Any little shadow that you can find, especially during the middle of the day, it seems to sort of condense where they're sitting. The only problem is during the middle of the day you need the stealth, and you need a much more, like, I reckon, a softer approach. So a slower, just slow down, get it into the right shadows and just leave it there. You don't have to bring it back. You know, some of these fish are probably full from a morning's feed, and yeah, they want something to be really easy during the middle of the day. So, you know, burning something back or taking it away too soon, it's just, you're doing yourself out of a heap of fish and a whole lot of fun. So slowing things down and targeting these overhanging areas where there's just some shadows, it's killer. Here we go, some more. I think that where, you know, watching your line is just such a key play doing this sort of fishing. Especially when it's windy like this, having a high vis line just makes a big difference because you can see it better. When it's super calm and a glass out, you can pick it up a little easier. Yep, got it. Have a look at where I threw that. Just such a typical spot. There's like a pole there, you've got the overhanging palms, the shadow from that, and boom. These 65mm Squidgy Wriggler tails, little prawn Wriggler tails. Look at that, they are just killer. Weighted like this, it's just made for such a wicked session during the middle of the day. Boy, it's great to be back on the Gold Coast. I love this style of fishing. Just one after the other, and they're so aggressive. Yeah, he's flicking all over it. Look, he's on it, look. Talking to me. Oh yeah. Sure, buddy. Hey mate. That's better fish too, a bit more weight. That's great. Come on. Look at the colours on that. Aren't they just gorgeous? Oh, yep. tossed that in, like lobbed it in as a last ditch effort right into a really quiet corner, and was just about to lift it, and I thought the line tightened. I saw it tighten up just ever so slightly. Sure enough, you beauty, right underneath these big docks is just so deadly. Here we go. Come on, Brimbos. Oh, I can hear them kissing in there along the edge, behind all the wiring from the pontoon. I've got to send one in there. That's where these unweighted ones, they just come into their own. That's right deep in there. Uh-oh. Yep, oh, I'm on. I'm on. I might lose this fish because I went under one of the wires, but I've gone over the other one and skipped under the first. I've got to show you this. This is pretty nasty. Well, it's a good brim too. There's a big school of brim that have just come around for this. Have a look at this. I might lose my lure here. This is pretty bad. Oh, he's playing the game for me. Have a look at all the wiring here that I've sent it under. So I got it under the first one and it high skipped off the second over into the second one. Look, a little bit of funny stuff here. Don't go, mate, don't go. He's a nice fish too. I heard them all kissing in there, look. Oh, he's down in there. Come out, mate. Come out. Let me skull drag you up over the top. I don't want to ruin this rod. Mate, what a way to finish. He's a 300 and he's a chunk, mate. I got him on the skip cast. There was no way, absolutely no way I was getting this thing any other way than skipping it deep in there. Look at the mouth on that. This 65mm, it's a little Squidgy Prawn Wriggler tail, and it's just, I've cut the top of the jig head off. I didn't have one of the just true styles like that where it's unweighted at the front, so I cut it down myself, and these have just fired today. Oh, how good. What a great way to finish. A beautiful big brim, and boy, it's been a fun session. Just one after the other like this. It didn't start like that. This unweighted or barely weighted plastic system with this little prawn wriggler tail has made all the difference today. I hope you're enjoying these videos and these lure reviews. There's plenty more to come. I wanted to show you something that can get your numbers, so over Christmas in the holidays, if you're fishing with your kids, or you just get that hour during the middle of the day where you want to get out and have some fun, you've got some skills and some tips to be able to go and do it. Hit those shadows with these little unweighted plastics, and you can't go wrong, mate. It's epic.